Afterwards, I was aware, I knew things wasn't okay, I didn't really know how to get help.
My wife had flu and then contracted COVID, and then she got HG. Nothing would stay down. She couldn't eat, she couldn't drink, she couldn't get out of bed. She was quite ill.
I think the complications with our story really started because we didn't have a continuity of care.
So often we find that there's sort of key themes really, and one of those is that individuals don't always feel, for whatever reason, particularly heard. So I think continuity of care is really important, but it's not always something that we get right.
Those key conversations for me were really important because I had a history of hemorrhaging. I tried to tell the midwife that I was going to hemorrhage, and it was in my notes.
It was one of those, if you didn't bring her in, potentially, this could have gone downhill quickly. So a lot of panic, a lot of stress. Obviously panic on my side because have we left this too long? Did we do the right thing, trying to treat it at home?
And I've never been in that position before. I didn't know really what was happening. Baby's delivered, baby goes on my chest. But of course, then I hemorrhage.
Well done, you're doing really well. We need to do more.
If there's quite a lot happening, I think sometimes it's quite difficult when you're in labour and giving birth to take in information at times as well, because there's just an awful lot going on. Often people just don't know what to expect, and I think understandably so, because that person experiencing it have not had midwifery training, so why would they know what's happening to their body?
My baby was born with a rare birth defect, which affected her esophagus, and she needed an operation. And so we were at the NICU for about just under 2 months, which was probably the worst 2 months of my life, but also at the same time the best, because I met my baby. I joked one time and said she's the best baby I've ever seen, and the nurses around and my wife have never let me live her down.
We have worked with people where baby's been taken straight to NICU, for example. That is just so difficult for people because everything they expected doesn't happen. Where's my baby? What's wrong with my baby? What's happening?
You get so excited to meet them and see them and get to know them, and panic that you're going to be a parent, and oh God, are we going to feed them at the right times, and when do we bath them, the silly things like this. And for us it was, is she going to survive the night?
When there's been a difficult pregnancy or a difficult birth, all of those expectations that were there are almost sort of rattled. As a service and the perinatal specialists colleagues that we have within the service, that's absolutely where our passion is, in being able to help people to overcome those difficulties.
I was off for the month. I did the month at home, and I went back to work, and I was looking forward to going back. Something was different. I could feel myself struggling a little bit more. Things that I used to be able to the emotions I used to be able to control on the phone I could feel them.
We'd run out of food because, like you do for new parents. And I said, let's just get McDonald's. And sitting in the drive-thru listening to the beeps of the McDonald's, I went into a full PTSD, panic attack. You forget that it carries on, and I'll hear a certain word and I'll be right back there.
It took a toll, physically and mentally, on what I was doing and trying to balance everything to essentially try and help everyone else, but forgetting to help me. And one day I went back to work, and whoever was in charge on that day just took one look at me, in polite terms, said, "You don't look great." And I think I paused and said, "I don't feel great, can we have a chat?"
I went to a breastfeeding support group, and it was the lead there that put me in contact with people who could help, and the wellbeing service.
It's really nice to be able to get it all out without worrying about feeling judged.
My goal, like when I sort of started therapy, really was just to make peace with what happened. And I do feel at peace with what happened now.
It's really important to state that no two births are the same. No pregnancy is the same. Everyone experiences pregnancy and birth so differently.
It might sound really corny, but I just want happiness. I just want us to all be truly happy with whatever we're doing, however we're doing it, wherever we are. Happiness is all that matters.